Okay, our next speaker is the awesome from Brave Newbies, Cagali. Give us some big hands, sir.
Thank you very much. Just point of contention to kick this off. I have a slight issue with the first chart that you linked, this first spreadsheet you linked at the start. Brave Newbies is the #1 attendance in this room. I know you've all got smiles. That's #1 right here. So to kick this off, I have an original Brave Newbies propaganda video. It's never been seen before. It's been a bit of an issue trying to get it to play, but
close the ad.
Citizens of New Eden, we stand at the brink of change. Before us lie challenges and perils, the like of which we've never faced. Our actions in the forthcoming days and weeks will determine the fate of the coalition and our alliances for months to come. In Hero, we benefited greatly from the support of some of the largest organizations in the galaxy. Sometimes arranged, sometimes seemingly in answer to prayers. No longer. We've created a home for newer players and veterans alike, and reveled in our young serenity. We're thrilled to fly, fight, and die with our friends at our sides, and in doing so, we've created one of the most exciting places in the universe. Ships to throw at them. We will exult in our victories and applaud our enemies. They say a group like ours doesn't belong out here. Yet here we are. We are heroes.
Escape? Yeah. Oh, there we go. Okay, the next bit. Sorry. Somebody help me, please. Okay, yeah, so a few little issues with that video. I specifically asked him to remove the Almost Awesome reference, which is just fantastic because they're not hero anymore. But so first, thank you very much for inviting me here. Fantastic event, my first one. Didn't know it existed last year. And I'm honestly thrilled to meet all of you people. I've probably talked to a few of your spy-alts and what have you. Anyway, it's good. So a little bit about myself. I am a casual gamer. I have a high-stress job. I have a family. I have a dog. A social life. I get to play on average kind of 1 to 2 hours a night. Generally 1 day a week. I can play the whole day. And every day, exactly the same as all of you, my playtime is interrupted by downtime. Boo hiss. I'm not fantastic at the game. I make stupid mistakes every single day. Every day. As it says in the brochure, I frequently lose ships because I forget that I'm flying and I leave them on a gate. And then I put in a petition for reimbursement. So sorry, paper notes, yeah. I'm also the director of the Brave Collective Infernal Repairs Division. It's the HR, Education and Recruitment Division. So as a result, I'm responsible for all of our newbies. 22 months ago, we had 40 members. A year ago, we had 6,100 members. Today, or maybe as of last week, we were the largest alliance in game at 12,500 something. I think the Goons have now taken us over again, but we'll see. We of course have Brave Newbies as the core, the baseline. Our core member is the Brave Newbie. That chaotic, clueless mishmash of what did I say? Bads, yeah, thank you. We have recruitment standards that include a pulse and a computer. That's where we live, you know. We take those people. We want those players. We still have the most relaxed entry requirements of any corp in the game. Generally, if you're a new player or a new character rather, you get straight in. If you're older, if you have corp history, you get looked into a little bit more carefully. But I'm sure you've seen our AWOX reports. Wow. We have a bunch of self-taught leaders. Most of us have not played a game at this level before. Most of us have no idea what we're doing, so we're trying to bumble through. Okay, so this is a collection of the propaganda pieces that we've come up with. There's some not safe for work ones, mostly, sort of. So anybody who's under the age of consent needs to close their eyes. Hey, I'm true to character, you know. There we go. Boy. Okay, so, self-taught leaders. I'm literally honoured and privileged to hold my role. I've been in BNI for literally my whole career, my whole EVE career. One failed attempt in 2005 or 6 or something like that. That resulted in an alpha clone pod death and a spectacular rage quit shortly afterwards. I came to EVE while I was off on stress leave from work, incredibly depressed, suffering crippling anxiety, and thought I'd try this game again, you know, whatever, can't get any worse, right? So I joined up, and doing some high-sec missioning, I went through HEC. And at the time, HEC's HEC, but I jumped into the system, warped to the station, and there's literally 100 guys in there in these frigates attacking some other thing, and local is just alive with screaming. You know, it's possible to scream in text, you know, these kids are having a blast. So I applied on the spot, and I've sort of accelerated since then. So, I got all my positions in this, all my roles in this corporation due to leadership burnout. I'm quite proud of that. So, in my position, I think I'm probably uniquely placed to see the impact of the new player experience on the newbies. I deal with thousands a week. I get about 80 mails a day on a number of different characters. I have 6 Gmail accounts. I have Skype and Jabber and all of those things, and this information from these newbies coming in, they're lost. They're absolutely swamped, and it comes into me. And as the leadership talk says, delegation is the key. It's very difficult. Maybe I'm just power hungry. I don't know. So, the brave identity. It's really important to us, and a lot of you have fought us. A lot of you have killed it. You've killed all of us. You know, we're all of us. And so much of our identity is tied up in the fights that we have, in the fights we generate, the fights that jump onto us and rip us apart and get shoved down our throat whether we like it or not. Brave Newbies was born at Asakai, the Battle of Asakai. Nadia Sotero wanted to create a corp for idiot newbies to derp around, and he did it. And then we had a CCP community spotlight, and we've kind of exploded since then. And every time there's a major fight, we get inundated with new members, literally inundated. The applications go from 50 to 250 overnight. That's a really fantastic thing. And if the speculation around Phoebe is correct, and there are not going to be any more of those massive battles, we're going to need another spotlight, please. Please, we've got to keep going. So, we're a bit of a joke. You know, we're a bit of a joke. We quite enjoy that that stigma. Presence in SOV is hilarious. You know, we actually accidentally, the whole region, when the previous owners disbanded their alliance and dropped SOV. We criticise because we let NC Dot grind a lot of our stuff for us. Yeah, we get it where we can. We didn't earn it. Brave Alliance, Joke Alliance. We sort of bumble through. You know, we try to maintain our presence, maintain our fleet numbers, maintain those fights that we have. and we're a training ground for, you know, the big boys in the corner over there, and you know, we really try to encourage that. You know, we really enjoy being in the centre of an orange donut. I think we might be unique. We might be unique in that our Eagle doctrine, T2 Cruiser, we're so thrilled about that, by the way. Like, that's big news still. That was developed at the same time and with the same care and the same attention to detail as a frigate doctrine. You know, like, they probably spent more time arguing about the frigates than they did about the Eagle. So these days, more often than not, when we're fighting our weight class, we're tending to win. We're tending to at least hold our own. Sometimes, very occasionally, we get to punch above our weight, and we're rightly proud of our growing power. But it's a fight to ensure that our trial newbies, and we have thousands of them, like, we're the biggest alliance, probably 60% of our guys are trial accounts who log in, they play their trial, they play 3 days of their trial, and we never see them again. That's it. So I see it as my role, my job, and you know, I used to laugh. People would tell me, oh, it's a second job soon enough, you know, before you know it, you'll be logging in 18 hours a day, and you know, it's just sort of giggle. That's a bit ridiculous, really. It's a computer game. And here I am at a conference for a computer game. Let's turn it. So, we're defined by our fights. Most of us refer to ourselves in terms of the fights that we were at or what we joined up for. I joined after Asakai. I joined after BTAC-R. I joined after Istamil. Istamil? What's that? Istamil was Brave's first attempt to kill a carrier. Somebody accidentally an Archon onto the Istamil gate somewhere down near Raha, and we jumped literally thousands of Atrons on that thing. Theoretically, I'm told it's possible to alpha a Titan with enough Atrons, but not if you send them in one at a time. So the field is awash in Rex, just awash. The looters, our ninja looters, that's where we came from. They're full of Meta-Zero modules, and you know, and still we came on. Then eventually the Archon pilot got bored or whatever, so he signed out and off he went. We nearly died from frustration. Just suicide. Anyway, I'm a fleet commander. I don't get time to run fleets anymore. That's the nature of the beast. I just don't get to do it. I got that role by running newbie teaching fleets, and it's terrible. Now, I still get to run those occasionally, and I literally spend an hour and a half explaining what you need to do before you undock. You know, update your medical clone, all of that stuff. Thank you for getting rid of that, by the way. That's really good. And that's that learning cliff. It's that learning cliff. Our newbies smack headfirst into it, and it's my job to try and encourage people to push through it, to assist each other. And to that end, we created the Brave Dojo, which is a help chat, newbies helping newbies, which means it's idiots teaching idiots. By your standards, you know, of course, by our standards, mate, we are elite. So, the Brave Dojo is our training corporation. It's all logistical, you know, there's no members in it. And we try to lift the game of the whole alliance, you know, newbie by newbie. I'm stunningly proud of the fact that wherever we go, that red dot on the map seems to follow us. You know, there's probably lots of those that, and it stopped again. I don't care.
It didn't start.
It never started? Oh, terribly sorry, there's some good stuff up there, but anyway. So, I did that.
No, you did the arrow up.
No, I didn't. It's going backwards. I told you I was bad at this. Anyway, so I see it as one of my main duties to encourage our newbies to be entertained. to be entertained by, maybe I should stop it, to be entertained by those fights rather than crushed by it. Our recent pummeling at PL's hands, you're allowed to cheer there, lads, good fight, is hard to bear. Nobody likes losing. It's something that a lot of our pilots have grown up with. We won't be damaged by it. But our newbies, our brand newbies are absolutely stuffed when it comes to losing thousands of ships in a row. Somebody told me yesterday that they didn't think that flying caps was that fun. Losing them is pretty good fun. We enjoy that. So we get an amazing number of newbies. Our delta is about 120. That means we have hundreds of people joining us. It gives us a positive growth of about 120 new players a week. Sadly, since we process about 600 applications a month, that means that we're losing a lot of members too. Our recruitment policy is getting steadily tighter, and our goal is always to get the new player over that learning curve. So, our new players on trial accounts. A fair proportion of us are spies. Some of us are ancient characters with astronomic wealth, bit-of-it syndrome, and a few of us are the idiots trying to hold them all together. A lot of our members are inactive. They're unsubbed, they're uninterested, and it's a terrible thing. Our average skill points are incredibly low for a self-holding alliance. And that's the second part of my role, the teaching, the training, keeping all those newbies, engaging them, running classes and wrangling the tutors. We run the skill plan, we run the newbie skill plan. We gets you a shiny new Interceptor taxi as soon as possible. We give you the skill point, the skill books. We run the program that gives you the PI stuff, teaches you how to drop it. And we've got amazing uptake on our various programs. We've got 10 people who work 24/7 to handle that stuff out. And I'd like to think of it as somewhat revolutionary, that I operate on a trust system. I don't think the game has to be about being nasty and stealing and that sort of thing. So my staff have all supplied me full API keys. I've never looked at them. And I trust them not to steal things. I trust the newbies not to order every skill book under the sun and then resell them. And for the large part, they don't do that. I don't know if that's charmingly naive or just stupid. So, that system of trust has worked really well for us, both with handing stuff out for free and our recruitment policies. And we have accepted people who are on everybody's blacklist. Everybody hates these guys. We get emails saying, "You've just accepted this bloke into corp. He's a thief and an AWOXer, and you should not take him." And for the most part, those guys have emailed me and said, "Yeah, look, I've got a terrible reputation. I'm a bad person. Can I come in anyway?" Sure. And 100% of the time, those guys do not end up AWOXing again. They play with us, they fly with us, and it's a fantastic thing. We like to encourage that community. That brings me to our infamous stay classy rule. You probably heard it, it's often weaponised. He told me to piss off, I want him kicked from corp. He called me gay, I want him gone from corp. And it's often held up that we must always be the purest of the pure and the saintly, heroes. And that's not really what it means, and it's a constant battle we have. Essentially it means that we don't use hate speech to each other. We try to be tolerant of mistakes because, holy cow, we're making mistakes. And as a result, we get a ton of drama about it, like a ton. That's the third part, the HR stuff. I get all the complaints, I deal with them. I wish I had a ticketing system like your guys. Instead, I have an email account and a complaint form in Google Documents, which if you've ever tried to use that, is holy cow, that's kill me. So, I love the game, I love the Alliance. My game is about people. It's about you guys, and it's about the way we deal with you, it's about the way we fight you, and it's about the way that you interact with us. And honestly, it's about this stuff too. This is our members engaging with each other, and they're jumping on that stuff and making it of their own, their own accord, posting it to the Reddit. We barely have to ask for these things, and people do it, and it's amazing. I'd love to see some love from CCP in terms of the different roles for newbie management. The notification system is fantastic. We don't get to see when people withdraw their applications. That's not an option to pop up. I'd love to be able to see that, because 9 times out of 10 it's some newbie who's double-clicked his apply button and it's withdrawn it. You guys might not be familiar with it because you know how that stuff works, but we get hundreds of players who submit an app. 3 weeks later, they send me a mail saying, "I'm a new player and you've kept me sitting here for 3 weeks not processing my app." "What app?" "Oh, you withdrew it. Sorry about that, mate. Just click it again." So, Eve is real. Eve is real. I really want to share this story with you, and you'll have to bear with me because I get a little bit teary practicing it. And every so often, the game just reaches out and grabs you in the chest and just tears your heart out. The story of John Bellicose is one example of that. Very appropriate. So, John came to Brave quite late. So John came to Brave quite late. He was only with us for a very short time. He came in as a newbie. He answered one of the periodic help wanted pleas I set up. Come and help me run these newbie classes, please, please help. And he came on board, and really quickly he was revealed as this fantastic shining light of newbie teaching. Just patient, witty, entertaining. He just had a way of engaging these newbies that was just pure pleasure to see. It was great. So we'd chat a bit, and I'd sit in on as many classes of his as I could. And he was at the forefront of the candidacy for second in charge of the dojo. He was such a likeable bloke that he would have made an excellent choice. And sometimes, with internet spaceship mates, we get to meet in real life. We can put a face to a fake internet name. We can buy him a beer, swap a story. And sometimes our friendships are cut short. So John was one of those. Sorry. One day, he didn't show up for a class. It's strange. Often, in a game like this, people don't show up for whatever reason. Days turned into weeks and months, and we wondered if he was coming back. His mate, John Bloodrider, sent him a message on Reddit, and after a little while, his mum got in contact with John and told us that he died. He was real. I was there. So when Bloodrider told me, I couldn't work out what he was saying. Bellicose is dead. He's back. I didn't see him log in. What ship was he flying? Surely this is not a bloody another AWOX. But then it hit me, he's actually dead. He's real well dead. It's a strange thing how people we've never met become so important to us. These anonymous friends, these bodiless brothers, and it's never occurred to me that someone I'd never met, someone I'd walk past in the street, could suddenly be so important and so utterly, finally absent. And that's the magic of this game. It's community heavy. It is so intensively societal that you can develop an emotional connection with people you've never met. You've talked to a bit about things, but you love them. And it's something that tears at you when they're gone. And Eve is real, and we were all there. And it wasn't until a bit later that I learned that he'd been depressed for a long time, and he'd taken his own life. And again, excuse me, when his mother told me, I was literally stunned. It's just, how could that possibly be? Suicide? It's just not possible. He's such an incredible kid, so happy, so full of life, and unbelievable. So how many of our mates that we're talking to, how many of you, how many of us have felt like that? How many of us have sat there and contemplated that sort of thing, and I think it's a lot. So, I sent around an email, suggested that a lot of us have that issue, a lot of us need support, and I suggested that we all, well, not all, but some of us need to broadcast for reps. You know, we need to ask for help if we're getting to that stage. And it was a little meme on Twitter for a while, and it was really good. I think it's worthwhile. I think we need to keep going. You know, how many of our mates that have stopped logging into the game, you know, have gone that same path? For the most part, we'll never know. So I'm sorry for getting really heavy. I'm really sorry. But as a community, we need to take care of each other. We need to look out for our mates. We need to ask them, are you okay? We need to, when somebody jumps in comms and is incredibly angry and hurtful and nasty, instead of saying, fuck it, see you later, we need to, that's out of character, that's weird, you know? So, it's Bellicos's birthday next week. We're going to celebrate him with a small game competition. 6-man PvP, goes from the 27th to the 30th. The blingiest kill wins 6 plex, then 4, then 2. And you guys are all, of course, welcome to participate. So I really want you to get into your blingiest chips and go AFK in a belt somewhere. So, the dojo staff. I'm sure the various teaching bodies represented here, we see the burnout and the fade away of those new players. And it's really disappointing to see. A lot of those players don't get a chance to engage in this community that we all love, we're all part of, we're all, you know, we paid money to be here, to engage in this community. And we really need to encourage those newbies to stay with it. We need to explain to them how it is that we have come to survive that learning cliff, and how we've come to handle the game. I'm also very pleased to say that we have, I think, probably the youngest or the least experienced player in the game, Kira Tsukamoto, just over here. Been playing the game for 29 days or something like that. She's absolutely... absolute success story. You know, win. That's one. We've got her. She's in for life. First one's free. So without the newbies coming in, without people like Kira, we're stuffed. We lose the game. We lose. You know, CCP closes the doors. They close the game. We lose it. We lose this community. We need to look after newbies. We need to make sure that our newbies, any of the newbies that you take, any of them that you smash apart on a gate because they've forgotten. They're probably the leader of a major alliance. You give them a convo and say, hey buddy, here's what you did wrong, and check this kill mail out, you know. So, thank you very much for letting me talk to you. I would like to ask, are there any questions? Do we have
big hand
questions?
first, guys. I think this gentleman talks for all of us. It is the community, it is us. That's obviously what these guys are all about. This is what Eve Down is about. That was an awesome presentation, dude. Questions from the audience. We've got a little bit of time, and then we're going to kick on with some prize draws. So how about anybody who would like to ask Cagali here a question or two? One question. Gentleman walking up.
Hi, I am Smile. I do have one question though. Why is your salute signal backwards to everyone else?
We got drunk. It's one of those things that it caught fire. You know, somebody came in and typed 7-0, but drunkenness, bourbon, goes backwards. Thank you.
CCP bro, got a question.
Hi, another Smile here. How blingy on the blingy scale would a kill of a CCP be on the blink scale?
Pretty good.
Pretty blingy?
Yeah, it'd be pretty good.
So I should AFK in a belt somewhere?
Absolutely, please.
There you go.
that is actually something I need to ask you guys. One of the programs that I run is fundraising. Obviously, I don't want your money. I don't want your money. I want your frozen corpses. I'm serious. I have been begging our IT guys for months to build, or literally 18 months to build this app for me. To say it's a lottery app. You know, you submit a ticket, you pay money, you get a ticket, you win. And it's a frozen corpse lottery. Currently, we have this fantastic leadership collection. You know, we have all the leadership of Brave. We have frenemies, enemies, rogues, turncoats, traitors, AWOXers. You name it, we've got it in there. But what I don't have is you guys. I'd love to be able to...
Last Rooks and Kings.
we have a couple of Rooks and Kings.
I think they probably have 5 points. I'm pretty sure they've got like 1,000.
Okay, so have we got any more questions before we move on? No? Yes, see if you remember me.
I was going to ask a question, but it's probably going to be a much longer conversation. But if you had a magic button, what would it be? What is your personal issue that you have the biggest problem with?
Yeah, that's a massive conversation.
Yeah, okay.
There's so many little things, you know, that could make it really easy for people like me and like EDU and like people who deal with the newbies. But yeah, I'd love to tell you about them.
Okay, we haven't got a long conversational time slot here, but here we go. One more question and we're going to move on.
So one question for me, for people who are not as exposed to you guys, especially for the EDU time zone, and do want to come and fight Brave, what kind of numbers do you guys hit, and what kind of fights would you like to have done in around your systems?
We are very changeable. We have the Australian time zone, we have early European, so we go from kind of 30 or 40 people actively spoiling for a fight to 200 available for, you know, a special event kind of thing. But 30, 40, yeah, we can handle that.
Yeah, any particular ship styles, because I know you guys tend to fly a lot of frigates, and you do get the occasional, you may get like an NC fleet or a Russian fleet or someone coming in and something too blobby just for you guys, and it just kind of spoils the situation for a bit.
If we know those fleets are coming, we'll organise you a fight. Doesn't matter what you got. You want to fight us in T3s? We'll take you out in T3s. We'll sacrifice them anyway.
Okay, we need to move on, guys. A big hand for this good gentleman. He forgets it.
That's strong bellicose right there.